Feeling overwhelmed by the challenges of being a single parent? You are not alone. Welcome to the Single Parent Reset, the podcast that helps you navigate the ups and downs of single parenthood and find the balance that you deserve. Whether you're a single parent, co-parent, or a solo parent, this is the show for you. I'm Orla and I'm a life coach for single parents. And as a single parent myself, I know how hard it can be. But I also believe that every single parent has the strength to create a life that they are proud of. In each episode, we'll shine a light on the unique struggles single parents face and cover the aspects of single parenting that are too often overlooked and left unspoken. I'll be sharing actionable steps to help you overcome these challenges and find a more calm and fulfilled life. Single Parent Reset is your weekly opportunity to gain a fresh perspective, take back control, and feel more in charge of your journey. We all know that single parents are running at pretty much full capacity at all times, and a little help would really go a long way. But when it comes to thinking about getting help or what help you need, there's just not time to even think about that, is there? Well, today, that's exactly what we're going to do. I'm going to share with you 3 steps that you can take to help you getting the support and help that you need as a single parent that will actually make change in your life. Being a single parent means you are doing double the work with half the help. You are stressed to the max, shouldering the sole responsibility of running your home. It can feel like there are just not enough hours in the day, and the list is growing and growing, and you are exhausted and rushed off your feet, while at the same time it feels like nothing's actually getting done, and if it's getting done, it's not getting done right. Getting some help will be great, but half the time when your well-meaning friends say, "Let me know if there's anything I can do to help," you honestly don't know how they could even help you. Many of us also may not even want to ask for help, as we feel like we are putting others out. Today, we are going to discuss figuring out exactly how people in your life can help you and how to actually ask for help without feeling like you are being a burden. I had a client come to me this year, and the summer was coming to an end, and they were absolutely dreading getting back into the swing of the school routine. Over the summer holidays, they had done a combination of play dates and grandparents looking after their kids. And they didn't feel the usual stresses that came with the kids being in school, as they had additional wraparound care. As the new school year was dawning, shoes were being bought, uniform was being replanned, but my client was really becoming overwhelmed at the thought of having to cover the school run, work, extracurricular activities, and keeping some sort of order to her household. She did not think she would manage yet another year of running on empty, trying to do it all, and she was near breaking point. I'm sure many of you can resonate with this feeling, can feel that heavy feeling in the pit of your stomach just even hearing my client's challenge. It was clear that my client needed some help managing the upcoming school year, but they were so overwhelmed, they didn't even know where to start. That is where we worked together to help them break down exactly where the pain points were that she needed help, and also looked into and overcame the subconscious thoughts and beliefs that she had around asking for help that was holding them back. The client had a much smoother return to school and felt a lot more in control once they recognised where they needed the help and put themselves out there and asked for it. I'm going to share with you how you can identify where exactly you need help in your life and how to not stop thoughts on asking for help hold you back, leading you to a balanced life where you can give yourself some more breathing space. You will see that sometimes it can be the simplest changes that make the biggest impact if you're willing to take the time out and really reflect on where your pain points are and how you can get help with them. Too often, as a single parent, we are so busy spinning all the plates that we don't take the time out to stop and think, how can I make this easier for myself? And yes, people may say, if there's anything I can do, let me know. But when you are so busy, keeping the show on the road, it can be hard to even think where you need help. And that brings us to step 1. Break it down and find the pain points. This is the first step. You need to take some time out and really look at your week and figure out where your pain points are. Look at your typical week, or if you're a co-parent and share your childcare, perhaps looking at a month view may give a better scope of things, as your weeks look different from week to week. I generally suggest for people to reflect back on their most recent week or month and look at the times they felt worked well, where things ran smoothly, and then look at the times that were more stressful than necessary, the points in your week that added extra stress or made you feel like you were constantly playing catch up. Once you map this out, it will become clear exactly where your big pain points are, and you can start to focus on these. So some examples of pain points. Perhaps you look back at the last week and you realise that there was 3 days last week where either it was traffic or train delays and you were late for school pickup, leaving you feeling absolutely frazzled, herring into the school and feeling stressed out and guilty that you were late picking your kids up. Or maybe on Monday you were out of milk and your kids were screaming that they wanted cereal, not toast for their breakfast, leading to a very stressful morning getting out of the house. And then on Thursday, you realise you'd no bread. And of course, on Thursday, your kids wanted toast, not cereal. And yet again, another stressful morning. You didn't get a chance to get these perishable items outside of your weekly food delivery, causing you to have 2 very stressful mornings. Or it could be that you missed out on dinner with your friends again because you couldn't get childcare sorted and you're feeling guilty for letting your friends down and also really lacking adult connection that you were looking forward to. It could even be that by the end of the weekend, with just you and your kids, you really craved some adult company and you felt lonely and isolated. So there are some examples of some pain points. Take some time now to think, what are your pain points? Where are the times that you were left feeling stressed, overwhelmed, like everything was just falling apart? Write them down and then we can move on to step 2. So step 2 is what would help and how can you get this help? Once you have identified your big pain points, you can then start thinking about how you can ask others for support to make these easier for you and bring more calm to your week. Using the examples that I mentioned previously, let's talk through some possible solutions. So if you find that you were constantly late for school pickup, find a fellow school friend. If you find that you were late for school pickup more than one day the previous week, find a fellow school parent that can be on standby if you're running late. Ask them, would they be happy to collect your kid also if you're running late on an evening? If, like me, you are always running out of perishables that don't last until the next weekly food shop, get friendly with your neighbours. Ask them if you can add these items to their weekly food shop if it comes in another day to yours. My poor son now actually likes his cereal dry because there have been way too many mornings where the milk has run out and I didn't have a chance and I couldn't actually get out to the shop. Are you constantly missing out on dinner or drinks with friends because you can't get the childcare? Well, what you could do is ask your friends, can they be more flexible on the day so that it's a day that you can arrange childcare? Or you can even move the plan so that you bring your friends to your house, have takeaway round at yours. Do you find that by Sunday evening you are worn out, having spent a whole weekend entertaining your children and are craving some adult company to share the loads and have adult conversation? Ask a friend to spend some time with you and your kids at the weekend. This is a favourite of mine to save all feelings of loneliness. So there are some of the issues that you may have and solutions to them. However, I do want to have a little note on this. I was guilty when I was looking at my pain points, thinking that there was no way people could help me with my main pain points, like bedtime. But in fact, there was so many other areas that I could get help with when I really thought about it. And that meant that I had more capacity for the difficult bedtimes. So I challenge you not to use those big pain points blocking you from asking for any help at all. And getting the help in the small things can give you more mental capacity and energy to deal with the bigger things. step 3 is understanding your barriers to asking for help and how to overcome them. So we've spoken about identifying where you need help and how you can start thinking about how to get help in these areas. But the final step is looking at and overcoming any barriers that you may have around asking for help. It is all well and good to say, just ask for help, but many single parents, they do not want to seem like they're a burden, or they are hyper independent and see asking for help as a sign of weakness. I'm telling you now, asking for help is not a sign of weakness. It is a sign of strength. Recognizing your needs and being confident enough to ask for them shows strength. Think of it this way. Would you ever think of a friend asking for help as a burden? Of course not. So why are you any different? Asking for help is so important for you to be able to live a balanced life. The more you ask for help, the more that you will see that people are willing to help. And yes, you may think that you're a burden, but I'm telling you now that you are not a burden. People want to help. Sometimes they just don't know the best way to help you. And once you've figured out how people can help you, you can get around, start asking, and you'll realize that people want to help. While you may have thoughts that there is no way people can help you, or you don't want to be asking people for help, I really hope that today's episode has helped you understand how you can identify where you need help and how to get it. As single parents, we are shouldering so much, and asking for help is key to making life more balanced. What small thing in your life can you get help with today? And are you going to challenge yourself to overcome your beliefs and get the help that you deserve today? Remember, asking for help isn't a sign of failure. It's a sign that you're strong enough to know when you need support. If you're interested in working with me one-to-one, please go to my website, sullescoaching.com, for further details. And don't forget to follow my Instagram page @sullescoaching for more insightful content on living a life to be proud of as a single parent. Thank you so much for listening to this week's episode of Single Parent Reset. I really appreciate anyone who comes to listen. And if you find this useful, please share this with your friends or family. And remember, there are many single parents out there that seem like they have it all together, but this episode may be exactly what they need to hear this week to help them get through. So do the kind thing and pass it on.